Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hello and welcome. Aloha from Hawaii. My name is Dr. Theresa, and as you can see on the banner, I am an author, a recent author. I have 2 books, The Happy Healthy Revolution, talking about family health, as well as my COVID-19 diary. But today, I wanted to really just have an interaction with all of you, talking about health tips and ways we can get mentally, physically, and emotionally healthier this new year. You know, COVID-19 really did a number on all of us at all ages. And as a pediatrician of over 40 years, I've seen the toll it's taken on our families. And today I and in the upcoming 8 live sessions I have during this Festival of Storytellers, I want to really go over certain key topics that no matter where you are in your health status, I hope I can motivate you, encourage you, and give you some hope that it's never too late to start. So today, I wanted to really talk to you about one of the most important factors that has been proven through studies to help with a happy, healthy, and long life. And believe it or not, it's social connections. Sometimes in this social media world, this virtual world, this is becoming even harder and harder to get, but we can talk more about this. So to kick off this topic, and I hope you'll in the chat, if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. And but let me just talk to you about the most famous study, ongoing study of 80 years. Back in the 1930s, there's a study about what makes people happy and healthy. And they took boys from the ghettos in Boston, as well as MIT students. And they've been following them for the last just about 70 or 80 years. And it's the longest ongoing study of happiness. And Dr. Robert Waldinger, he has one of the most popular TED Talks about happiness. And really what it came down to is, number one, that social connections are so important to live a happy and healthier and longer life. The reverse also has implication. Loneliness will kill you. And In fact, the studies now show that having social connections is even more important than obesity and high blood pressure and other diseases that you might think would be more harmful. Smoking, that was the other one. Now, when we talk about social connections, it has to do with really the quality of your relationship. So even though a married couple might be arguing after 50 years of marriage, if you're in a committed relationship and you know that that person always has your back, I think that's what's important, is that solid, nourishing relationship. But relationships, so in other words, relationships don't have to be perfect, but we also have the daily interactions, and those also count. Do you say hello to your neighbor, or to your postman, or to the cashier at Walmart? I think these are all things that will help to make us feel connected together as a community, and that's so important. Also, in this study, they showed that good relationships not only protect our body but our brains. So when we're in that, we have a better way of keeping our brains healthy and engaged, and that really good relationships are so important for our survival. Now, as we start the new year, it's so difficult for so many of us to, we kind of know what we're supposed to do, but it's so important to really think about that person we want to be. If we want to be a person who has more social connections, one of the things we have to say is, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to really, have 5 superficial connections, say hi to 5 people today. Let's really think about the person that we want to become. We don't want to be someone who is isolated and lonely. So let's really visualize and think of the person that we want to be. And so by doing that, we can take steps every day. Take it very slowly. If you just say hi to your neighbor once, if you just reach out and thank the mailman if you see him, every time we take one step towards that new person we want to become, that would be a vote or evidence that we are becoming that person. I also use this in terms of physical health. Instead of concentrating on, I want to be a healthy person for 2024. Let's just say, or say we want to lose 30 pounds in 2024. Instead of thinking of our goal, the goal is good to give us direction. Why don't we just think about, I want to be a healthier person this year. And let's take one step. Let's say, I'm not going to drink 2 sodas a day. I want to be that healthy person. So I'm just going to drink 1 soda every day for 1 week, and we'll see how that goes. So again, imagine that person that you want to be this year, that new person. And we just have to be fearless and just make that decision to move forward and say, I can do it, and take little bitty steps. Thank you, Betty. I think we need to all talk about this. It's good to know that we're all together. Even for myself, I continue to struggle. We all want to be the best health that we can. We all want to be around for our children and grandchildren. We want to live a quality life. And it's something that I think we all strive for. But again, it is not easy. And I tell people, how many times have we been held back from making changes? Sometimes the status quo, it feels so comfortable. You don't want to move out of your lazy boy chair. You want to just sit there. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to connect more. I know I'm supposed to eat better. I know I'm supposed to exercise, but it's just so hard to kick into action because I think for many of us, we fear failure. We fear that we're going to let ourselves down because this has happened so often in the past. And I tell all when I'm a pediatrician and for 40 years, and when I see the families, I tell them, first of all, you have to make a choice. You have to decide if you want to make a change, and then once you let go of that fear, you really got to just move into action. Because if you don't move into action, your life will never change, and it's all downhill. And I really want people to know that I have been there. You might think, she can talk, but I can tell you from my own experience. 13 years ago, my husband of 30 years, we were in private practice for 27 years, and he was an internal medicine doctor. So at the age of 55, in June 2010, he died suddenly and unexpectedly. I went to heat up our lunch and I came back and he was dead after a few minutes away from him. I had to make a decision. I went into 3 months of depression, not knowing what I was going to do. I thought my life was over. My 4 adult children then told me to just quit medicine. They said, Mom, just go sit in your rocking chair and, live the rest of your life. But at the age of 55, I felt that I finally understood my profession. I knew what I wanted to do. And I decided to take a chance. It was a big chance, but I ended up borrowing money, I borrowed over close to $2 million. The bank loaned me money. I started my new practice, We Pediatrics. I'm happy to say that I have 10 employees, 2 other providers, plus myself, and I'm doing well. So I can tell you from experience that when you're down in that depth, it's not easy. But once I made a decision to do something, for myself, I believe in a higher power. I believe in a God. And I tell people, he has more work for me to do. And this is my story that I try to share. I just want to give others hope and inspiration so that they don't give up. Adversity is going to hit all of us. It's going to hit all of us, no matter what. We're all going to suffer losses. But this is where our social connections come in. And I realized that I did have a strong social connection, and it's become even stronger, and I understand the importance of that. But I want to tell you that in my first book, The Happy Healthy Revolution, my goal is to help families who are experiencing pediatric obesity. And when I see children with pediatric obesity, the parents and grandparents most generally are also obese. And so I always work with people who on a scale of 1 to 10 are ready for change. I will not work with people who are just a 1 or 2. I want to work with people who feel motivated to change. And so that's half the battle. But I did family workshops, and I would get the engagement of the entire family, parents, normal weight siblings, grandparents, nannies, if they lived in the same house and had a lot of contact with the children. And we would talk about, I would have a 5-week workshop. And so again, that was just amazing. So when you pick up this book, it's made for families. I talk about family dinners, just really getting that family unit, starting with a newborn baby, but developing schedules, routines, and really including both mom and dad, and having that solid family unit, that solid marriage, so that the children can grow up seeing that as an example. When COVID-19 hit, I wasn't planning on writing another book, but when COVID-19 hit, it was just something I've never experienced. And I wanted to keep in touch with my families. In fact, we had stopped seeing patients for a week or two, but I somehow wanted to keep in contact with my family, my loved ones, as well as my patients. And I started writing the daily blog starting March 23rd, 2020. After doing this for 1 month, I put a question out there if people were wondering is anyone reading this? And I found that people from all over the world were actually looking forward to this blog as a newspaper. And so I continued writing it until December. Lo and behold, my first publisher was reading this, and she encouraged me. She said, you should really try to go ahead and put this in a book for others. And it was a lot of work, but the feedback, so that was back in 2020. And I'm just really amazed at some of the comments. People have come up to me and said they put it by their bedside, opening it up and reading a few words of encouragement. At the end of each blog, I wrote a scripture that was meaningful for me. And again, you don't even have to be a religious person, but sometimes there are certain words that are very comforting. And again, not only as a pediatrician, as a medical professional, but as someone who has been through tragedies of my own, I like to just weave it into this book. And hopefully anyone, at any time you're experiencing pain, suffering, hopefully you can pick up this book and just open it to any blog and find something comforting in there for you. And I think this is my purpose now, is to get out there. And I'm trying to use whatever experience I can in the writing form to help others get through hard times. And one of my next projects, right now we're in a pediatric obesity crisis, and one of my next projects, instead of writing a book, my heart is telling me to do more of a live podcast as a pediatrician, and really try to engage families and children to just inform them of knowledge, and how can we strengthen our families, and how can we all eat healthier, move more. So this is my intention in the coming live sessions, is just ideas that I've picked up over the years, where we can all become the best that we were meant to be. And I appreciate many of the comments I'm seeing. Someone says, pandemic did not change us, but it revealed our true characters. And I think the pandemic, it really, sometimes for some people it was a beneficial time, but for many people it was a very challenging time. I've seen mental illness escalate in my office. We in Hawaii, we have a shortage of mental health professionals, and so I'm hoping that through the books and maybe my next project through podcasts, I can continue to reach other people nationally and globally. And when we turn on the television or news, everything is doom and gloom, but I want to be that beacon of light that people can hang on to. And, sometimes I feel like a lone wolf in the forest, but I do think that someone needs to lead that, carry that flag. And hopefully many of you followers will come and join me at my next live sessions. But just to conclude, again, social interactions, guys, this is going to keep you healthy, keep your body healthy, keep your brain healthy, keep you just physically, mentally involved in a great life. And I look forward to my coming podcast. Now, I will be on these live sessions starting at this time on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. So this week and next week. On Tuesday is the day, all day I have to see patients. So I'm not able to come on Tuesdays, but I'm very, very excited. On Wednesday, I will be talking about sleep, tips for better sleep, why it's important, and some nice tips that I can give you. So if you want to know more about me, my website is www.authortheresawee.com. I'm also on Facebook. I also have a nonprofit. It's called Walk with a Doc Oahu. So for the past 9 years, I started this nonprofit where I meet weekly with the community for free. I have a new health tip every Saturday from 8 to 9. We warm up, we walk. I have a short, medium, and long distance. We regroup, I cool down, and we just have a lot of social interactions. It turns out that it's mostly seniors, but it's a wonderful group, and it's been so satisfying for me as a physician for the past 9 years, I've seen so many of my walkers advance on and do marathons. One of my former walkers who was overweight and unfit, he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. But I'm very excited. I turned 70 years old this year, and I feel like my new career, solo career, has just started, and I look forward to seeing all of you at my other live sessions. So spread the word, and I'll see you again same time on Wednesday. Again, my books, my COVID-19 diary, practical tips and scriptures for improbable times from an American doctor, and my other book, which I don't know where it is, The Happy Healthy Revolution. I don't know where it went. Anyway, you can pick that up on Amazon, and thank you for your comments. I don't know if anyone had any questions or wanted to add anything else. Oh, here's my book. It fell down. So, The Working Parent's Guide to Achieve Wellness as a Family Unit. So I had raised 4 children while working 6 days a week, and my husband was also a full-time physician. At the age of 40, my 4 children are under 10 years of age. I actually went through a deep depression. I could not handle anything anymore and required treatment. So again, this book is a summary of all of the tips I have for our young parents. But right now, many of our grandparents are also watching their children. So this is a book for even yourself. tips about how you can get healthier one step at a time. And then I will be doing a roundtable discussion coming up. That will be, I think, it's going to be on February 2nd. I'm sorry, I should have that written down here. But anyway, you can look it up. I'm going to do a 1-hour roundtable discussion. And I will be moderating with 8 other authors. So I think it should be very, very exciting. It's going to be 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, my roundtable discussion, Healthy Habits, Unleashing Your Best Self. And if there are no other comments or questions, thank you all for joining me. And I hope you'll join me at my next live session. Thank you so much. And take a look at my author website. And I look forward to seeing all of you again. Spread the word. Take care. Stay safe. Aloha from Hawaii.